What's good, everybody? This is your girl Shay with Black Excellence and Culture, the good and the bad. And as always, we are here with our nice co host.
What's up? I'm your girl, Lady T.
And of course, we've been out of commission for a little bit and we do apologize for that. But we are here now in the month of September of 2022, and we're going to be talking about a few different topics in regards to communication and mental health in the Black community. And I mean, not only is this just for the Black community, this can relate to anybody. So we're going to go ahead and get that started here in the month of September, which is also Suicide Awareness Month. And me personally, I can definitely, associate with that, as this year has been a very trying year for me. And I'm sure that Lady T can, associate with that as well. But we're going to be speaking on, again, communication and mental health in the Black community. Feel free to chime in if you have any questions, concerns, or if you just want to join into the convo. We always love to hear from you. So, just starting off, we'll go with mental health in the Black community, just due to the fact that, again, this is Suicide Awareness Month and we can all relate to that. On the show we can all relate to that. But I'm sure that you have, or you may or may not have had friends or either family that have dealt with this before, and you may or may not know what to say to them or how to react to it. And in the Black community especially, mental health, depression, anxiety, PTSD, just to name a few, are rampant. Like, they run rampant. And it's been instilled in us as Black people not to deal with mental health. Like, mental health, as far as depression and everything goes, it's not a real illness to Black people, or either it's not something that we have been accustomed to dealing with or actually acknowledging it as a Black community. Normally it's all the boys can't cry, and you have something wrong with you mentally, like, it doesn't really matter, you just brush it off, keep going. But mental health is real. You can lose your sight, you can lose your hearing or whatnot, but if you lose your mind, that's the hardest part. And especially dealing with mental health, that's something that you can get help for, but it's also mentally draining and challenging because it's just you. Nobody knows what you're going through unless you actually speak out on it. And again, in the Black community, we've been accustomed to or told not to really speak on it, or either if we do try and speak on it, we're shut down automatically. Like, oh, well, okay, you're depressed, so what? You have a mental illness, you have anxiety, what is that? And that actually puts a lot of trauma and different things on a kid and an adult. Like, I'm an adult, and I've been dealing with this supposedly, all my life. I've been dealing with different things in regards to depression and suicide and other things like that. I've actually committed, or attempted, a few times myself. So I speak from personal experience, where I say that, as a child, I was going through these different emotions and mentality in regards to certain situations and certain things, and I actually tried to reach out I may not have known exactly how to speak on it per se, but there were different things that I was doing that I was trying to reach out to somebody for help. And I was brushed aside or not really paid attention to, or shut down as far as speaking. And therefore that actually translated and transferred over to my adulthood, where I had problems communicating with people, and I never really said anything in regards to my mental health, or what it is that I was dealing with or what I was going through, because of childhood traumas. Nobody listened to me then. Why would they listen to me now? And it's taken me these 33 years to actually begin to even open up just a little bit to speak on my mental health and try and seek help for that, because of everything that I've dealt with from childhood until now. I mean, granted, they say that you have scars, and scars are just reminders of where you've been, but it didn't break you. But what happened for you to get those scars is what makes you into the person that you are. And a lot of us, unfortunately, do not speak out, and nobody knows that we're suffering until it's too late. And that can be the quiet people, that can be the people that make you laugh all the time, that can be the people that always seem like they're in control of their life and things of that nature, and you never know what anybody is going through, mentally especially. And you wouldn't want to be the person to say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing to someone, and be the one that sent them over the edge. But in the Black community, as I stated, we don't really acknowledge mental health, schizophrenia, other mental illnesses. I mean, there's plenty of them out there, but we don't really acknowledge that as a community, again, because that's what's been instilled in us. Like, we just like older adults, if you ask them in regards to going to the hospital or going to the doctor because something is wrong, they'll 9 times out of 10 they're going to tell you no. Oh, I'm not going to the doctor because oh, I'm fine. And they're saying that because of things that occurred with our community in the past, which is understandable. But at the same time, sometimes you do need help. Sometimes you do need assistance to get where you need to be. And also in the older community, I call them seasoned saints. In the older community, they also lean more towards church or seeking prayer or seeking guidance from God or whatnot. Oh, well, you're dealing with depression, God can help you. You have schizophrenia, you're seeing things, pray about it, everything will work out, and be better tomorrow. And prayer and well-wishing, meditation, all that is all well and good, but sometimes you actually need professional help. Sometimes you may need medication. Sometimes it may just be therapy. Sometimes it may just be somebody that sits there and listens to you and actually listens. Not like, oh, it's just going in one ear and out the other, but somebody that actually listens to you and acknowledges what it is that you're going through. Whether that's somebody that's been through it themselves before, or somebody that actually just genuinely cares. Maybe they haven't been through a situation like that before, but they just genuinely care about you as a person, and that can actually change your mindset somewhat in regards to how to go about life. And again, I say that from experience. I mean, I held a lot of things in, a lot of things in, from childhood. And again, it's taken me 33 years 33 years to even begin to open up and speak on things. Because they teach you about different things like boundaries and supporting yourself, thinking about you. Yeah, you can be a family person, or you can be the caregiver, or whatever it is that you may be or whatnot. But there's a time where not only physically do you need the rest, but your mind needs the rest as well. And not only do we as a community not really understand that, but jobs as well. Like, jobs, they don't really consider mental health, especially in like the customer service industry. They do not really understand mental health, so therefore they don't really consider it to be a disease or a true illness. Like, no, I'm not physically sick. No, I'm not, I don't have COVID, or I don't have a physical cold, or I'm not broken. I didn't just get out of surgery or something to that effect. But mentally, I'm drained. Yeah, and I just need a moment. I need some time to myself, or I need some time to get back to me. But jobs don't understand that. They're like, okay, well, let's just say you work in Walmart. Your leg isn't broken, your arms your arms still work. Why
still
can't
physically able.
Why can't you come into work? Like, my mind isn't there. Like, it can be a number of different things that's going on with you, but everybody every now and again needs a mental cleanse, just a mental vacation where you can actually rest. Like, and again, I'm not meaning physically rest, but rest your mind and be able to gather yourself and think about yourself, before helping anybody else, because you can't help others without helping yourself first. Like, just like you can't make yourself happy. Others can't make you happy. You have to do that yourself. Things of that nature. But everybody needs that time or that person that they need to talk to. And the main people that you see that are dealing again with mental health, you will never know it. 9 times out of 10, you will never know it, that they're actually dealing with something. Like, when you're dealing with depression or schizophrenia or bipolar or PTSD, anxiety, whatever the case may be, whatever your diagnosis may be, and you may not even know that you have it, but when you're dealing with that, you know how to hide it. And it may not even be, on purpose, but you don't want others to know or others to judge you on your situation, so therefore you don't say anything about it, and you just continue on with life as it is. But again, if you don't speak out about it or tell somebody, nobody would know, and you wouldn't be able to get that help that you may so desperately need. And again, it doesn't always have to come down to being medicated or being on medicine your whole life or whatever the case may be, but just, again, maybe you just need a listening ear. Maybe you just need somebody to hold you and tell you that everything is okay every once in a while. Take that burden off of you, and not necessarily judge you for what it is that you're going through. And they have hospitals, they have emergency rooms, or urgent cares for those that are mentally broken. They have a new suicide line number that's easy as everything to remember. If you can remember 911, the number is 988. Like, just dial that on your phone if you get into a crisis situation where you just can't take it anymore. You're finally broken and you just you want to go ahead and give up. Before you do, give them a call and you can get some help. Or either you can call the number. If you don't feel like talking to somebody, they can give you their number to text them. And again, that number is 988. And you can get assistance. I know here where I am, I'm currently in Forsyth County now, but before I was in Guilford County, and I actually went to the urgent care for assistance. I finally broke and I gave in, and actually got the help that I so desperately needed and didn't even know that I needed. And I'm not forcing anything on anyone. I wouldn't want to make you go see someone or tell you that there's something wrong with you, because who am I to judge? But there are outlets, there are avenues for you, and you have people that love you, that actually want you to be around, and that may not be blood family, if that may be the case. Sometimes strangers are more family to you than family, so whoever it is that you have in your corner or that you trust, please speak to somebody. Please speak out so that you can get the proper assistance, and actually make it somewhere, so that you can get into the proper mental capacity that you need to be in. Did you have anything to say on mental health awareness or suicide awareness?
Knowing from my own experience, I'm the type that's, I'm pretty sure it's a whole lot of y'all, that's me. I don't like to talk, so until I've completely just said I can't do it anymore. So when you get to that point, you have to literally sit back and be like, okay, this is the time. This is me needing somebody else. But at the same time, in that mindset also, you have to be careful with who that somebody else is, because it can be the one person that you do go to can be the one that you think you're okay with opening up to, and they are the one that hurt you the hardest. You go to them for the help and they hurt you the hardest. So then it's like, who else can you talk to? You know what I'm saying? I've been in that situation a few times. Then also, you may have had past hurt from trying to seek help, going to therapy, being in one-on-one sessions, and it's you think everything is confidential between you and that person, but then time goes by and you hear conversations between other people that you had with this therapist. Then it makes you not want to trust anybody else anymore. So it makes it even harder for you to want to seek help from somebody else, because you automatically think that, well, if I went for help one time and this is what happened, how do I know it's not going to happen again? So me personally, I'm a bottler. I do not talk until I explode. Shay's over here shaking her head. Yes, that's fine.
I was agreeing. I am too. Well, I used to be. I'm trying to open up now, but yeah.
Yeah, no, me and opening are not friends. We should be, but we're not. And I am one of those ones that hide it very well. You wouldn't know I'm dealing with anything unless I told you, and it's hard to get me to tell anybody anything. That's what's really going on with me. But as far as, seeking help for like suicidal thoughts, that can be whether it's I wonder what life would have been like if I wasn't here. I wonder how happy they would be if I wasn't here. Moments like that. You really have to weigh the values, more so thinking about, who am I actually here to be here for? It's not necessarily if you're gonna, be a benefit to somebody else, but can you benefit yourself? If you want it bad enough, fight for it. Don't let pressure from somebody else or something get you in the mindset of, oh, I don't need to be here anymore. It's never worth that. It is never worth that. I myself have had a few suicide attempts, and I can't even tell you how I got out of that thought process. I used to be very, very dark, and I used to be a cutter. I had issues. I had a lot of them, but then you have your outlets. Don't let your outlets get away from you. Don't do it. If that's the one thing that keeps you calm, keep it with you. No matter how confined the space is for that outlet, keep it with you. No matter how hard it feels, no matter how much you feel like, oh, I don't have time, I don't have the energy, I don't have the capacity, you have to make yourself do it. I am learning that myself. You have to make yourself do it. If you want to fight hard enough to stay here, make yourself do it. And think about, like, futuristically, if I continue to do this and it just continues to grow, the more I do it, the better I feel. And then you can turn that outlet into maybe like a business venture or something that somebody else can gain from. Maybe your situation is so bad that you want to write about it. Write a book, publish it, put it out. It'll help somebody else. You never know what your story can do for somebody else. Just like other people don't know what their stories can do for us. You just have to be able to open your eyes wider than what you've closed them. I wrote a poem a while back called Eyes Wide Shut. And personally, it was like, yeah, I'm in this dark place, but you see that little pencil tip of light in the middle of this whole dark room. Like, I literally felt like dude in Get Out when he was falling in his little area or whatever. Like, that was literally like the visual of how the majority of my life had felt. So in the end, if you want it, you'll fight for it. And yeah, most people always say, go to church, pray about it, all that, whatever. Everybody doesn't believe in God. Everybody doesn't believe in prayer. Everybody doesn't go to church. So do what benefits you. Find the positive in that negative. Even if you think you can't find a positive in that negative, find a positive in that negative. Whether you're like, oh, I don't want to wake up tomorrow, or there's no purpose in me lingering here, I'm just here. Like, people ask you, how are you doing? Or you're just like, meh, whatever. those type of moments, you have to think about where your day went from yes to maybe to no. And if you have more power in your yes than in your maybe or your no, keep going. Keep going, because that is your sign that is telling you you're not done yet. It doesn't matter how much you want to be done. We never know what we're here for until after the work has been done. So just push, find an outlet, get into it, and produce some magic out of it. Point blank, period. That's from my experience. My outlets, I have multiple because I am very, very hands-on. Like I said, I used to be a cutter. So now, instead of cutting on me, I cut hair, I cut fabric, I cut words in these poems. You just gotta figure it out. Put your hands in different uses, and not in a negative way. So, at the end of the day, you got this. You gotta tell yourself that. Believe in yourself. I have it tatted on my hand. Believe in yourself. I got it tatted on me purposely so I can see it every day. Mainly for those moments where I'm just like, no, not today. I look at both of my hands because I'm constantly like closing, holding something, everything, every day. So it's never like something that I can't see. So believe in yourself. Keep going. Quote from myself that I wrote about 13 years ago. Be careful not to trip over something you can step over. If it's something that's small, it's gonna make you fall. Get up, look back at it, and be like, oh, it's not that big of a deal, and keep going. Moral of the story, keep going. You never know what your end's gonna be. Just keep going. That's all I got.
Yeah, push forward. Always. And there are plenty of different outlets. And there are a lot of people that can gain from your story. You don't know how many people. I mean, I write music. I write music. I make music. I cook now. Like, I'm keeping busy all the time because I know that if I don't, and I get into that,
You lose yourself.
I get into that moment where I have a moment to get into my thoughts. That's not a good place to be, because once I get there, like, I start to spiral, and then we'll go right back into where we were before, and we just want to keep pushing forward. And there are people out there again that love you and want you to be here, or that need you here, I mean, I know there are plenty of parents out there that have committed suicide. There are children that are committing suicide from being bullied or whatever the case may be. Like, they just feel like they don't fit in. They don't belong. There are different reasons why people choose to, but try and find those reasons to continue. As hard as it may be.
I was about to say, even if it's overweighing, you feel like you don't want to be here.
Right.
But like I said before, find the positive.
Yeah.
In those negatives.
That's my mantra now, and a friend of mine actually told me that a few years ago, and now I've started to actually implement that on a daily. Whenever I do get down or start thinking negatively or whatnot, I always find the positive within the negative. Like, you never know somebody's situation or their story or whatnot, and we all have our bad days, but no, I don't have, maybe I don't have some place to stay, but I got my life, health, and strength, maybe I have something to eat today, but I don't know what tomorrow will bring. Well, you have today. You have that time to think about what will happen tomorrow and go ahead and make it happen. There are different things. Oh well, I just lost my job, but you still have a roof over your head. You got a pot to piss in, as they say. You always got to find the positive within a negative situation, because there's always somebody whose situation is worse than yours, and you could be there at any point in time. And being in that mental capacity, everybody, that's a very humbling experience. When you get to thinking about everything and where you could be versus where you are, but you always want to strive to be better than you were yesterday. So to all my fellow survivors, those that have attempted and survived and kept moving, I applaud you. I'm grateful for you being here. If nobody told you today I love you, if nobody told you today you're worth it, you're worth being here, you have a purpose in life. So keep moving, keep pushing forward, and I pray the best for you. Continue to find your positivity and your reasons to keep going. But again, talk. I was actually just having a conversation today about communication, and that is one of the things that is, especially as a kid, growing up black, as they say, when you're talking or you try and communicate with your parents or whatnot, depending on what you say and how you say it, if you come off a certain way, then that, we'll stay in a child's place, or
don't use that tone with me,
right? Or
be a smart mouth,
or, well, don't you see adults are talking, and they may not even know the situation at that point in time. Or you may be an adult and you don't know how to talk to people, like communication wise, because you were shut down so much when you were younger. You may not even realize that that's the reason why you do it. There's a lot of things that we do now, for those that are listening that are in the adult age range, there are a lot of things that we do now that stem from things that happened to us as a child,
and we're still mentally a child,
right? That dictates how you act now. Like, just as I stated before, communication, I stopped talking because I was ignored, or I was picked on, I was bullied. And that's not just from people at school or in my childhood. That was family too.
Yep.
Like, I'm just like, well, so nobody's gonna listen to me anyway, nobody cares anyway, so why say something? And so things happen, I just bottle it up. Oh, okay, I can tell somebody about it, but nobody would care, so what's the purpose, or what's the point in wasting my breath in saying anything? And so I wouldn't. But now growing up, apparently, and they've blamed it on my zodiac. I believe in zodiacs, but I don't really go believe in it like that. But I've been told, from being a Virgo, shout out to all the Virgos out there, by the way, that I speak my mind and I'm a little blunt in what it is that I say. I say that I'm not blunt, I am real. If you don't want,
that's the same thing.
If you don't want to understand, or you don't want to hear what I have to say about it, then don't ask, but I'm gonna say the same thing that I would say behind your back to your face, and vice versa. Like, I don't have any qualms about speaking my mind now in that aspect, when it's not about me, but I can relate to it, or you come to me for advice or whatever the case may be. I'm gonna tell you what it is that you need to hear, And depending on the person, there's only one person that as of right now that I would sugarcoat something for, and that's my daughter. But otherwise, I'm gonna give it to you straight raw, and if you can't take that, then I'm sorry, but you asked, so I'm gonna give you my opinion. But in that aspect, I do have a lot of people that come and talk to me, come and ask questions and things of that nature, which is all well and good. I listen, despite the, outside and the exterior, apparently I have a hard RBF and seem very unapproachable. I am the nicest person that you can know, and I am like the easiest person to get along with. So talking to me is perfectly fine. I have no reason not to talk to somebody unless like I get a bad vibe from you. But if you want to talk, you got something on your chest that you want to talk about, whether that's mentally something that's going on with you, or it's a relationship, or whatever the case may be, like, speak on it and talk to me. But don't be mad or get upset when I do respond. Case in point, that we'll use this as an example. I had a friend that came to me about relationship advice, and they told me their story, they told me their situation, and when I was giving them my opinion on the situation, looking on the outside in, they got really defensive and started coming at me sideways, and I'm just like, did you or did you not just ask me my opinion, or what it is that I was, what I thought about the situation? Well, why did you ask if you're gonna get upset with what I'm saying? But and then today, again, we were speaking, and it came up, hey, well, sometimes I just want you to listen, and so I can go ahead and get it off my chest. And my response to that was, I think that it's rude not to respond. Not saying, okay, yes, you can get it off your chest, that's all well and good, but if in a normal communication, if somebody says something to you, you need to have a response. That's like women getting all in their feelings because they write a whole book to a guy or somebody, and that's the equivalent of saying K or I, something like that, on a text message or whatever. Like, if I don't respond back to you, that seems rude to me. So I'm not just gonna hold my tongue because, oh well, I just wanted to get it off my chest, and so that's that. Like, if I don't say something to you, then that's rude and you're gonna feel some type of way. If I say something to you, you're gonna feel some type of way. So it's kind of a lose-lose situation. So I don't really know where to go with that, but nonetheless, speak. Talk. Communication is key. Nobody will know what's going on with you if you don't talk. You can't expect for somebody not to give their opinion, whether that be a good or bad opinion, on a situation if you ask. Everyone is entitled to their opinions. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go with whatever they're saying full force, but especially if they can relate to the situation that you're referring to. If I can relate and I'm giving you an example of how I can relate, why are you getting upset about the situation? Maybe that's just me, and that's why the communication is off a lot. That can be kids coming off a certain way, or adults coming off a certain way. Women not really listening to other women, or starting to feel some type of way, or catch a vibe. Oh, I caught a vibe off of you. The way that you came off at me, I don't appreciate that. It seems like you got an attitude, or you got a problem with me. Like, no, I don't have a problem with you. Like, I'm just speaking. I'm just telling you how I'm feeling or what the situation is or whatever it is that you just asked me about or said to me. I'm responding back to you because that's the way communication works. But maybe that's just me.
I mean, sometimes too you have those that do try to communicate, but whenever, like, let's say, okay, so it's a friend coming to you, communicating with you about something that they're dealing with, and y'all talk about it, you know, you have the perfect answer, perfect solution, all that for them, but when the roles reversed, it's like that same person is like, oh, I don't want to hear it, I ain't got time for it. Or they'll give you an answer, but it's not like they're like really in tune into the conversation, you know, like it's like, let's say, okay, I come to you and I'm like, hey, I'm feeling like this right now, whatever, and your answer back to me is rushed. You know what I'm saying? That's part of, that could be some reason why, you know, some people don't like to communicate. Like, it's the I don't get what I give type of thing. I know a lot of people that's like that.
You can't take what you give. There you go. Boom.
Well, you have some people like that too.
You can't dish what you give.
But like I said, it's some that you don't get what you give. And it's like, that's part of why some people don't talk. Because I give you the time, space, opportunity, chance, whatever, all the emotion, everything poured out right there. But when I need it, who's there to give it? You know? Which is also why some people are silent. Or if you're like me, you come to me wanting some advice about something. I'm a Taurus, okay? I'm very bullheaded. I am very stubborn, but I am real as all get out, okay? I will jokingly hand you what you were supposed to have. Like, I'ma laugh in a good way, because your reaction to how real my answer to your situation is, your reaction is just gonna be like, oh my god, like, what? Yes, and you'll thank me later. You will definitely thank me later. But Tauruses are also very closed. Like, we have a hidden interior, I'll say. Like, kind of like, you might as well say we're Gemini mindset, but we're Tauruses full out. We are split personalities. Okay?
That means crazy.
We are not crazy. But no, we are, well, I won't say we all are. From the difference from April Tauruses and May Tauruses.
Oh, here we go with the zodiacs.
No, I'm a May Taurus, okay? I have split personalities. I will show you one thing and give you something else. Like, what you see on the outside most of the time ain't who I am on the inside, because I'm trying to fight what I'm dealing with on the inside to try to become what I am on the outside. So it's like an internal battle. So you get two people at one time, but you most of the time don't ever know it unless I tell you that, hey, you're dealing with this person and this person. Sorry. Not sorry. But also with communication, like I said, it's kind of like what I said earlier in the show. You know, you have those that you feel like you can talk to and you go to them, but then they take everything that you talked about and talk to somebody else.
That's not a true friend or somebody that you need to be talking to, though.
But when you think that they are, it's like, how do you know? And then it's like, then you become iffy with everybody else. But that's when pen and paper come together.
That's a fake person, though. Like that, and that's a whole nother subject. We can go on with that.
And yeah, that is fakeness.
That's a very fake person.
There are those people in the world too that are only there to talk to you when you're in your downfall. They're never there to lift you or there when you're doing good, you know?
Or there you got the dumpers, that's what I call them. The people that whenever something is going on with them or they're upset, they dump everything on you.
Yeah.
And those are the people that you do not need to be around, or you don't need them in your aura, because they're gonna be the ones that'll mess you up. That actually puts more stress and more burden on somebody as well. Like, you can't just come and dump your stuff on me and then you're feeling all happy-go-lucky because you got that off your chest, and now I'm dealing with it, or vice versa. If I come, like, okay, well, you came to me with your stuff and now I'm coming to you and you don't want to hear it. Oh no, I'm too busy.
It's like the shadow meme video that's floating around the internet of the guy that's like walking. It's like he starts off all white.
Oh yeah, and then he touches people,
and he turns black more and more. Just every problem that he goes to, and then in the end, everybody that he's touched is all happy-go-lucky, and then he's just like, no.
Now he's the one that's dealing with
I don't want to do it. But that also intertwines into, you call them dumpers, I call them waiters. I call them waiters because they wait until you're A-okay to want to drop all their problems on you. Every time. They always wait. It's like, I'm having a great day. Oh my God, nothing can go wrong. And then all of a sudden, hey, can I talk to you? Like, it's like you have that mixed emotion when that happens, because it's like, I don't want to be that rude person and be like, no, I don't want to talk right now. But I'm very like, you can come to me anytime in the day about anything. That's just me. But part of my mind is like, I don't want to, but I feel like I have to, because that's just the person that I am. I am very, very, very open to talking to anybody about anything.
But see, in communicating with somebody, you can't just dump everything on or let me rephrase that. You can't just open up to just anybody and just give them whatever, like give them all of you, because there should be a limited number of people that you have that much trust and faith and, okay, Leah, yeah, I can be my true self with you. You don't have a lot of those people, but people don't understand that, especially kids. Everybody is a friend to a child, and you have to teach them. You can't always talk to everybody. You can't just, like, stranger danger, you can't always trust everybody, and so don't always tell your business to everybody, or especially if you have a mental thing going on, or positive things. I always say this: never like run to social media or whatever and dump your problems there, because not everybody is praying for you, not everybody is in your corner. And you can go with, okay, I'm going out for this new job tomorrow. You may not get that job because somebody then put out there and put some bad juju out there, and now you don't have that job. Move in silence, basically. Like, you don't always have to announce all your achievements or your low moments or whatever to everybody and on social media or whatever the case may be, because not everybody is rooting for you. So have your trusted few that you open up to fully, and let that be your outlet. Like, let that be your person, your go-to person. And you can actually let them know that they're your go-to person. Okay, I feel comfortable around you, enough to be myself and actually open up and actually speak to you or whatnot. Because not everybody has that. And that's another reason why we both say, have your outlet. Maybe you don't have somebody that you can trust on that level at this point. People have to gain your trust. So, have your outlets, and just be the best at that. give that 110% if you don't have somebody. But if you do, then actually like reach out to that person. You can actually talk to them. But the people that are just the dumpers, or those people that are the fake friends or whatever, are in your face one moment, then the next moment they're nowhere to be found. Those are the people that you need to steer away from, because that's negativity that you don't need in your life.
The categories. That's what I call them. I got the turn ups, I got the talk tos, I got the family, the what is it called, the what do they call them, the family. Families. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the friends that are family.
And then I have the actual fam, ILY. Everybody falls into their own category. Mm-hmm. You have those that are only around when it's time to turn up. You don't hear from them for nothing else. You have those that you can talk to and they don't want to turn up. They just want to conversate, chill and all that good stuff. Cool, you got them. Then you got family. That's like, okay, yeah, you're more than friends. You touching family basis. You real in tune with each other, but that's as far as it's gonna go. Then you have the actual bloodline that you can rock with in any basis.
And that doesn't necessarily have to be blood. Let me just put that out there.
That's what family is.
Like, let me just put that out there. Cause let me just put that out there. Lady T is more family oriented than I am.
I am very much so.
But
yeah,
not all family has to be blood. Let me just put that out there. But
I have a lot of sisters that did not come from my mother.
True. But again, keep the positive mindset to those survivors out there. Again, you have something to live for. You're worth it. You have a purpose here. Reach out to somebody, talk to somebody.
Yes.
Communication again is key. And it doesn't even have to be about a mental status. It could just be about anything. Maybe you just want somebody to know, or you just want somebody to have an ear and actually listen to you.
Just notice you got somebody in your corner.
Right. And if you don't, you can always reach out to us.
I stay on my phone 25/8.
Yeah, so you can always reach out to us if you don't have anybody else, and you just want somebody to talk to you. You can always message us on our page. It is Black Excellence TV. That's BLK Excellence TV on all platforms, and we will definitely reach back out to you and we will talk to you, because we're not just doing this just because we're actually we'll be your friend. But again, this is Black Excellence TV. Today's topics was mental health and communication, mainly in the Black community, but that's anywhere. But as always, we want to thank you for tuning in, listening. Make sure that you comment below, or if you have anything that you want to comment on, talk about on another episode, please hit us up and we will check you on the next episode. Thanks for hanging with us.
And always remember, just because you fail did not mean that you are a failure. That means get up and try it again. Keep going.
Y'all be easy.